and welcome to another video. So the car which I've got for you today is the Ford EcoSport, the pre-facelifted car, or either you can say that this is a 2013 model. So the basic purpose of making this video is that I'll give you my preference, that is the Ford EcoSport, the pre-facelifted model, really worth in getting it in the second-hand market or not. So watch this video till the end.
Before watching this video, make sure that you subscribe to GTech and also press the bell notification icon and turn it to all to get all the notifications.
Talking about the overall exterior design of the car really looks good being the pre-facelifted model. The front end of the car is really raised in order for the SUV feel of the car that seems to be maintained by Ford throughout. While talking about the side profile or the front profile or the rear profile of the car, from all the angle scenes, EcoSport really looks SUV-ish, looks bold and aggressive too. The whole credits goes to Ford for building such muscular and bold designs. So here also the front end is really raised and it looks really bold and aggressive. The whole credit goes to the headlamps as well as the grille of the car. You get the fog lamps over here. Unfortunately the housing has come out, but here you can see that you get certain kind of chrome finish around the housing of the fog lights, and these are the headlamps which offer you normal halogen bulbs in the pre-facelifted car. And you get chrome strips in the grille of the car. As you can see that here you get the branding of the Ford done along with this grille. Kind of it is just a small plate over here where the branding of Ford is done, and the rest of the grille can be observed over here. As you can see, that is basically for the radiator ventilation, but it is really good and really enhance the front appearance of the car and gives it a sporty appeal as well. Well, talking about the side profile of the car, from side as well the car looks really SUV-ish and bold as well. You get these beautiful alloy wheels in this car which are of 16 inches, and they really look good. You also get side body gliding, but unfortunately there are no wheel arches, but still the car really looks good, talking about the overall SUV essence of the car. So this basically really enhanced the side profile of the car, this black treatment given over here, or you can also call it the side gliding. And here you also get the roof rails which are finished in silver, and there is the antenna. Well, the antenna is really long as it is the pre-facelifted model, but again from the side as well the EcoSport really looks good and sporty. Talking about the rear profile of the car, from the rear as well the car looks really aggressive and bold built. You get these tail lamps which really suit and enhance the rear profile of the car. Ford's branding done over there and EcoSport written over there as well. And here you get the branding of the model done along with the engine trim, that is TDCI, and the branding is titanium, which is the top end of that period. And here you have got a request sensor to open the boot door of the car. So, and pressing it, and there it opens. If you keep pressing it for a long period, so that time it opens. And you get hydraulic boot door in this car, so that opens all the way, and it is really significant in loading the boot there, in loading the luggage in the boot, because you get an all squarish boot over here. So loading the luggage in and loading the luggage or getting the luggage out is not at all an issue. The boot is really squarish and it is a good shaped boot as it is square, as I told you. Here you have also got a light as well as a hook. Partial self is also there. So again the boot is pretty decent considering the segment. So let's close this first. So there it closes, and the key highlight of the pre-facelifted Ford EcoSport was the rear spare wheel which was being placed on the boot door. So that is also really significant in completing the overall SUV feel of the car. And you get reflectors over there along with the 4 parking sensors over there as well. So now let's have a look what is there inside the Ford EcoSport, the pre-facelifted model. Well, the doors really open wide and large, so getting in and out is not that issue. And this is the rear door pad of the Ford EcoSport, the previous lifted car. It really looks premium and nicely finished as well. You get the silverish treatment done over here, and the quality levels are also quite decent or pretty good offered there from Ford. Ford is again good in terms of its quality levels as well as the fit and finish levels as well. And you get this fabric finish done over here, and this is the power window button, and again this silverish treatment done on the door pad as well. You get a bottle holder there, but unfortunately it isn't that large, so it can hold a milliliter bottle, but it will hold around a 500 ml bottle easily. And this is the rear seat of the Ford EcoSport. You get two adjustable armrests along with two adjustable headrests along with one armrest. There's no center armrest on offer, and I think that these seats can be splitted. Yeah, so these seats can be splitted in 60-40 ratio. Actually, because of this seat cover or this tall cloth, you can't see the armrest there as well as the split ratio, but the seat is comfortable. It offers you good support for your low back as well as the under thigh support is pretty decent. Well, talking seriously, EcoSport is not the car in the segment which is best in terms of its space offering. As you can see that a lot of its competitors offer you good space in the second row. So yep, the space management in the second row isn't that great as such, but you get a bottle holder there which is quite big, so it will hold a milliliter bottle easily. And the speaker placement is done on the door pads itself. So again, the seats are comfortable, but they are not as good as of its competitors along its segment in terms of the space management. So two people can really sit comfortably in the second row, but third person, either a child or either an adult, would be a tight fit over there, because there's also a hump there, and the seats are also not that wide. So again, a third person in the second row would be an issue. So now let's have a look in the front. Well, the front doors open wide and large as well, and this is the driver's side door pad of the Ford EcoSport. As you can see, it is really familiar. You get this dual tone finish theme which is maintained in the interiors of the car, either on the dashboard or either on the door pad itself. You get the silverish treatment done over here, Twitter placement done over here, and these are to adjust the ORVMs and also to close or open the doors of the car. And these are the window gears. You get an auto up and auto down driver side power window, and this button is for the window lock or either the child lock. And here you get door pockets which are really large, so here you can keep a milliliter bottle and rest of your nicks and knacks. As I told you that the speaker placement is done on the door pads itself, so there it is. And again, fabric finish done over here, and the inside door handle is also feels pretty nice to hold. And this is the driver's side seat. You get a 6-way manually adjustable driver's side seat. As you can see that here is the control to adjust the height. This is for the recline angle of the seat, and there is the lever to push the seat forward or back. And these are the pedals. This is the manual car, and you also get a dead pedal over there. And these are the controls for the headlights and for the headlight leveler. Again, you get this silverish treatment done around the center console as well as around the side AC vents of the car. And this is the steering wheel. You get audio controls on the left side of the steering wheel. So now let's sit inside and feel how the EcoSport feels while sitting inside the. Well guys, now I'm sitting inside the Ford EcoSport, and as you can see that the layout of the dashboard, even of the pre-facelifted car, is really nice. It feels really good while sitting inside. The quality levels are again great on offer, and that is the most good thing about the interiors of the Ford EcoSport, that the quality levels as well as the fit and finish levels of the Ford EcoSport are really great. And here you get an audio system, because basically in the pre-facelifted car you didn't got any kind of touch screen infotainment screen, but you got a normal car player there, audio player there. So these are the controls for the audio system. So let me first of all turn on the car and show you the key. Actually, this is not the original key, this is the second key of the car. Actually, the primary key of the car is certainly broken, so that's why I have to operate the car with this key itself. Otherwise, you get an flip key along with the controls of the door lock and unlock, as well as a button to open the boot. So getting the car in neutral, that is really important, as I tell you in my every video. Pressing the clutch, turning on the ignition, and giving the self. So there the car turns on. Actually, this engine is producing a lot of voice, so let me first of all turn off the AC. So there the AC turns off, and close the door because there's a lot of voice coming from the engine. There's certain problem with this car itself. There are a lot of voice sounds coming through a lot through a lot of parts, some rattling sounds and other stuff as well. So this is the audio system of the Ford EcoSport, the pre-facelifted car. So these are the controls you get in CD player over there, and these are this is the button for the CD, radio, aux, phone. So there it is for the device. So that also shows the connectivity, that like there's no present connectivity with the aux or anything else. And these are the controls for the voice, for the audio, for the phone connectivity. These are the controls for the phone connectivity. This is to open and close the car, where you can really do so. And this is the hazard light button. This is for the volume rocker, and these all are the controls to adjust that audio system. So these are the AC vents. Again, the layout of the center console is really done good. So it really feels there is a feel while sitting inside the EcoSport, as the sitting of the car is real great, and the dashboard is really nicely built. So the dashboard is also something that is really important in completing the SUV significance of this car while sitting inside, because it really feels raised. And as you can see that how long it is, it continues a lot, so that is also one thing. And again, you get the silverish treatment on the steering wheel as well. These are the controls for the audio system. There are no controls on the right side of the steering wheel, but you get audio controls as well as the voice command controls on the left side. And this is the instrumental cluster of the Ford EcoSport. Well, this instrumental cluster is really basic, while the one we saw in the facelifted EcoSport was really stylish and gets a huge MID screen as well. So on the right side you have got the speedometer, on the left side you have got the RPM meter. On the topmost part of the center you have got an small MID screen which basically shows the outside temperature, current fuel economy, as well as the odometer and trip meter that are basic. And on the bottom of the center of the instrumental cluster you have got the fuel gauge. And here is an climate control. You get the circular dial around, and it gets an automatic climate control over there. So that is good also. So So talking about the features list of the Ford EcoSport, the last generation, the pre-facelifted model. EcoSport is a car that really offers you a lot of features, and that is a very good thing about the car. And in terms of safety, the fit and finish levels as well as the quality levels of the Ford EcoSport are real dope there. So talking about practicality, this car gets door pockets on all the four doors, while the rear door pockets are quite small, but the front door pockets are really large and they can hold a 1 liter bottle as well. There are 2 bottle holders over here and one big bottle holder over here as well. That is really accessible for the rear passengers. And there's also a small place where you can really keep your phone like this. And the glove box is also big enough, so that is also good. So you get the glove box kind of divided into 2 compartments, and the glove box is really huge. So that is all about the interiors of the that's not done. So this is the sun visor. How can I forget telling about the sun visors and the lighting system of the car? So let's go on with it. So this is the sun visor. It is plain and flat, no ticket holder or no vanity mirror on offer. And this is the driver side sun visor, the non-driver side sun visor, where you get a vanity mirror as well as a light as well. So that is good. And here is a sunglass holder which is working surprisingly. So there it closes finally. And these are the controls for the lighting system of the car. You can access these lighting in with these individual buttons as well as with this. This is for a center light, and these are for the twin lights which are there around the center lighting of this car. So let's turn off them. So that's it about the interiors of the Ford EcoSport. Now let's have a look what is there inside the hood. Well guys, this is the engine bay of the Ford EcoSport. Looks really congested as well as really spacious as well. Like there's a lot of space available here, and the center part of the engine bay is really filled with a lot of stuff. Obviously that is the engine. Well, jokes apart, you don't get any kind of cover on the engine, but you get the insulation done over here, which is really functional, or for this particular car it seems non-functional as well, because there's a lot of cabin noise coming inside, or there's a lot of engine voice coming inside the cabin. So this is the 1.5 liter motor, diesel motor, TDCI motor. So it produces 90 bhp of power and 204 newton meters of torque. Well, that is the major highlight of the Ford cars, either that is the Ford Figo Aspire or the Ford EcoSport. So in the EcoSport as well, you get the 1.5 liter TDCI motor, which again, as I told you, produces 90 bhp of power and 204 newton meters of torque. The engine is really punchy, offers you good low end lag. The low end lag of this motor is really well contained. The mid range is really strong, and the top end is again really can be observed. So this is a car made for the drivers. This is a fun to drive vehicle, offers you great punch, and when gets on the road it gets attached to the ground, and that is the major highlight of its engine. The engine is refined. Well, don't comment me like this motor was sounding real loud, but as it gets on the high speed around 4000 rpms, that time the engine can really get vocal, but rest of it the engine is really refined, and this motor is also really reliable, and that is the major highlight of the car or the EcoSport is this engine. It is reliable. The whole car gets reliable because of its engine. So first of all, I'll close the hood because there's no stick here, so I have to do the dumbbells. So let me first of all close the hood. Well guys, I have finally closed the hood of the car. It was a real trick for me. It was really tricky. So well, we are almost done with our today's review, but something is still remaining. First of all, it is dimensions. We'll talk about the dimensions later, but first of all, let me give you a conclusion of this video. Like, should you really go for the Ford EcoSport, the last generation, the pre-facelifted model in the second-hand market or not? Well, Ford EcoSport is a really reliable car, comes under the sub 4 meter SUV segment, that is, and was certainly this was the car which really created this segment in the Indian car market, and it is really reliable. The major highlight is the diesel motor of this car, which is a 1.5 liter TDCI diesel unit, which is really punchy and powerful. This engine is really peppy, and the refinement is again good. So that is the major positive of the Ford EcoSport. You should really go for this car in the second-hand market, as it is the BS4 compliant motor. So you'll get this car around 6,50,000 to 7,50,000 in the market, or maybe more cheaper than that. So this is the car you should really look for in the second-hand market if you are getting a good deal on it, as this car is really reliable, is really muscular and bold in terms of its looks, feels really SUV-ish and looks SUV-ish as well, and the engine is the major highlight over there. So now let's talk about the dimensions. Well, the length of the Ford EcoSport is 3999 mm, which is approximately 4 meters. But again, it is a compact SUV and fits under 4 meter. And the width here is of 1765 mm. And talking about the height of the car, the height here is of 1708 mm and the ground clearance of 200 mm. That is great because in most of the Ford well, that's really good considering a Ford. The ground clearance is also good. It is of 200 mm. The wheelbase here is of 2520 mm and the boot capacity, which I forgot to tell you while exploring the boot, is of 346 liters. So well guys, now we are almost done with our today's review of the Ford EcoSport. I hope you liked it. If you liked it, then